What is up, guys? Rep here, and today what I'm going to be doing is starting the second part of my small combat section of this series. I'm going to be getting all skills up to level 25 or higher, which include all the melee stats, ranged, mage, and defense. Hopefully my constitution will get a lot higher. And tomorrow I will begin Slayer, as I believe I need 30 combat. Let me check on that real quickly. Yes, for the Slayer Master in Canvas, I need level 30 combat, and then once I reach level 60, I can go to Vanica in the Edgeville dungeon, and I will begin doing Slayer tomorrow. With that being said, let's get into the start of this video. So, while training magic, I decided after figuring out that cows and chickens give the exact same amount of experience. They give 33.5 every kill. And the thing is, chickens have only a third of the health, so it's a lot easier and faster to kill them. And in this, you can see I decided to go with an imp book and wand and use the base air spell, as it is easy to cast and it's quick to cast, and I could one hit the chickens and I would easily burn through them and get a lot of kills. Now you're probably wondering why I instead decided to buy air runes instead of using the air staff. Well, the thing about the air staff is it's a lot slower than a wand in a book. It is more accurate, however, but it's still the same damage, but just book and wand are a lot faster on the casting, and when there's a lot of chickens spawning, it's a lot nicer to be able to go from one chicken to the next really quickly, and that's why I decided to go with the imp wand and book and use the air spells instead. Now, I got level 25 magic. I believe I got my constitution up to 19, I think. I'm not sure. But I did have a glitch when I had, I believe, 17 and 18. When I had that, when I got those levels, it would say, instead of getting 17, it'd say I had 16, or when I had 18, it said I had 17. But I did actually have the correct level. But anyways, magic is done. I am now going to move on to range and then melee. So guys, as you can see, I am killing chickens while doing ranged. It is a very easy and good method for lower levels, and it goes by very fast. I decided to go with iron crossbows and using bronze bolts later on in the levels. You may be wondering, isn't bronze bolts very expensive since they're 34 a piece on the Grand Exchange? That is true, but however, the way I did it is I went to the stores and bought them from the stores, which, by the way, each bolt at store is 3 GP a piece. That is a tenth of the price of GE, and it is very easy to obtain them. You can buy 300 at a time, and I believe they're on a certain minute timer. It didn't take long for them to reset at all. But there's two shops you can get them from, one in Varrock and the other one in Catherby. Now for my iron crossbows, I was going to buy them on the Grand Exchange, but they just would not buy. And since they take level 39 fletching, I was not going to make them. But instead, I bought all the materials and gave them to a clanmate to make it for me. I even tipped him for doing it, and thanks to him, he also bought me several bolts at the stores, as there is a timer on it and I could not buy all the ones I needed. So I also bought the bolts from him for store price, so it's as if I bought them from the store. But what I did do during this is I did a mixture of the iron crossbows, and I also did a mixture of Kale's longbow or short bow or whatever, as it requires no, arrows or ammunition. So it's just free to charge and things like that. However, it is slower, just like I mentioned in the maging portion, where staves are slower than bolts, but they also are more accurate. But I decided to do a mixture. But I also noticed that sometimes with the bolts and crossbows, I would not hit constant 50s. So I later on decided to go back to the bow, where I would gain constant 50s and one hits on them. Oh, also, my clanmate that helped me, he pulled a festive cracker on me when I was buying the bolts from him. And coincidentally, it gave me a 1000 bonus XP in ranged, which was very nice. Thanks to him for all his help. It was really nice to have that few extra levels to go by a lot faster. And it was really nice having 1000 bonus XP. And now I'm going on to the melee portion of this combat section. So with this being shared XP amongst attack, strength, and defense, this is going to be the biggest portion of this video by being, I think, yeah, half the video. Because as you know, the XP per one gets split amongst the 3 skills, which means 10 XP in each skill per kill. During this, I did use the, Wisdom Aura, which gives a 2.5% bonus XP gain for about 30 minutes. I did use that. It only gave about 1 bonus XP, but I mean, every 30 kills, that's like a free kill, I guess. But I mean, over time, it accumulated. But yeah, I used that. At level 20 attack, I believe I went to... actually, no, I did go to G and bought the Steel Scimitars as they have a higher damage, and they actually did about 100 more damage in main hand and about 50 more damage in the offhand, so it was a big improvement. But yeah, this took the longest part of the whole entire thing. I got all my stuff up to 25, which was nice. Tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing is Slayer for a while. Gonna try and see what level I can get up to after a few hours of that. Working on combat styles by swapping out each task with a new combat style. That way I train them all equally. If you guys didn't know, with 2014, what Jagex is planning on doing is quote-unquote Year of the Player, I believe, which they're going to be releasing several types of different polls for us to do. One involving some new Elvish City versus Divination first, whichever you want from that. There's a new dragon they're going to be releasing. I think there's 4 or 5 types of dragons that we could pick from. I'm not really sure about what the other ones are. I just kind of skimmed over that. But yeah, that's what's going to be happening this year. Tonight, what I'm going to be doing off camera, I'm going to be doing a bunch of money making. So I don't really want to bore you guys by making me watch and just do this continuous repetitive cycle of swamp toads and things like that. But what I am going to go for is 500,000 GP. I will get that probably in an hour of swamp toads, or maybe 2, depending on how attentive I'm being. But what I'm going to do with that money is buy all my gear up to level 50, and then at that point I will be doing Dragon Slayer, or getting enough quests to do Dragon Slayer as it is needed for the chest piece of all armor types at level 50. And also, once I reach level 30 ranged, I'm going to be doing the quest for Ava's Attractor. And at level 50 range, I will be upgrading to Ava's Accumulator, I believe, and I will be right back. What on earth? What the? Is he like stunning me or something? Oh, snap. What was that about? But yes, guys, so tomorrow what I will be doing is Slayer. I don't have a goal for it. I'm just going to be working on combat overall. I do need to get to technically gain access to next, which is gaining access to all the quadrants of the God Wars dungeon, is 70 strength, 70 agility, 70 ranged, and it used to be 70 constitution for Zamorak, but since EOC that is no longer applicable. But I also need to get 80 defense, 80 magic, and 80 constitution to wear Virtus. So I'm just going to be working towards those goals in general, not going for a certain amount each day. Just going to do it for a while and see how it goes. Hopefully I'll make a decent amount of money, getting all skills up to 70 and magic and stuff up to 80. And then at that point, once I get all that done, I'm going to be doing nothing but various money-making methods, skilling, bossing, things like that. I will be doing a few days just Barrows, because that's a very low-level and easy-to-do minigame for money. I've never really had good luck with Barrows, but hopefully it'll be in my favor as I'm trying to make some money from it. I'm going to keep doing that, and I will announce a few days in advance of when I will be doing it, so that way if any of you guys would like to join me, you're more than welcome to. It's going to be few hours a day, probably 3 or 4, maybe more, I don't know. But I will have to also save up and buy super restores and things like that. As you know, that it drains it. I also will need to buy food and things like that. But I will be using Slayer Dart as my main spell for Barrows, as it is very cheap and easy to cast. Not easy to cast, but it's just a very simple spell, and I don't need a lot of runes for it, and it hits rather well. But with that being said, I'm also going to work on summoning the next few days because I do need to get up to level 10. It won't take terribly long at all. I have like 200 something charms in my bank from doing Wolf Whistle, which is very nice. I will be doing the highest level gold pouch that I can to gain the most experience. I don't know how much that'll cost, probably nothing at all, but yeah, I definitely like how I edited this video instead of yesterday. As you may know, I sped up practically the entire thing to show everything. That was a very bad idea, as it is a tremendous file size. I think it was like 5 gigs before I rendered it, and then it was like 3. So that's why it took so darn long to upload to YouTube and things like that. But instead, I just decided to do quick snippets, which I am happy about. With that being said, if you guys liked the video, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. It always helps. And I will see you guys tomorrow.